Welcome back to Smart Operator for Forestry. In the final lesson, we will discuss what to look for when purchasing new equipment, and we'll summarize key takeaway messages from the entire course. No matter how well you treat your equipment, or not, sooner or later you'll be looking at buying new or new-to-you machinery. Generally speaking, you want to buy the newest machines, as they have the longer economic life. However, if you're shopping used, keep in mind that newer machines have more features and advanced electronics and control systems, which makes them more productive and thus a better buy. In this study, where we observed the same operator process logs using a new machine and an older model, we found the older machine consumed marginally more fuel, but production was significantly lower. Is it worth the investment in fixing the old machine? Only you can decide that. But if you don't track the machine's productivity, this lost production can sneak up on you. When is the right time to replace your machines? This is an economic decision driven largely by your potential earnings. However, the decision is not without risk, which cannot be fully defined given the limits of this online presentation. Regarding the economic life of a particular machine, this is largely determined by the machine's design and duty cycle. For this exercise, we will consider just the fuel consumption for 5 and 10-year life cycles, for which we assume a machine's fuel consumption increases by 2% every 3 years, and new machines using new engine and control system technologies improve their fuel consumption by 4% every 5 years. Given the parameters for operating hours, hourly fuel consumption, and fuel costing $1.20 per liter, let's look at the numbers. Here, we have modeled annual fuel consumption costs for 2 different machines' life cycles over the span of a decade, with one of them getting replaced after 5 years. The dashed red line shows that fuel costs for the older machine increase over time. The solid blue line shows that fuel costs improve after the older machine is replaced and increase slightly as the newer machine ages. The difference in total fuel consumption from year 2022 to 2028 is $53,000. What other costs do older tracked machines incur at 5 years of age and on? What else haven't we considered? Production. Production can decrease as a result of worn machine components and reduce engine and hydraulic pump efficiency. And let's not forget about the downtime that can result from burst hydraulic hoses and a myriad of other malfunctions that older machines can suffer from. There are other considerations when purchasing a new machine. What is your current wood profile? Can you hedge your bets and purchase a machine suited to your future needs? Look for strong dealer support. How soon can you obtain parts? Or are you willing to give a new brand a try? Shop more than 2 brands to stay on top of what the market has to offer. As mentioned, buy the newest machine you can afford. Do you really want to buy someone else's headache? If you do buy used, be realistic about how much life is left in the machine and give it a thorough mechanical service before you send it into the woods, as it will be easier to repair in the shop. Do your homework. While it may be nice to operate a larger-sized machine, what is the most common operating condition it will work in? New machines have more efficient hydraulic systems, are normally quieter, and have sophisticated computer-controlled fan drives that reverse operation to clear debris from the radiators. Lastly, look at the manufacturer's fuel consumption figures with some skepticism. Talk with other loggers in your area and get their opinions. Remember, you're not buying a new car. Don't be fooled by a slick presentation from a salesperson. Lifetime totals of wood produced, fuel consumed, and possibly even maintenance costs far outweigh the initial purchase price. Buying the wrong tool for the job can be quite costly. Have you ever purchased a machine that later turned out to be a dud? Ask yourself where you went wrong. That is, if it isn't too painful a topic to revisit. When considering optional equipment, you need to look at what you can get for your money. In the case of comfort and convenience items such as satellite radio, you are improving the working conditions and morale of the operator. With fuel-saving devices, like a cab heater, you are doing the same. But there is a further return on investment that needs to be evaluated. Loader operators often idle their engines while waiting for trucks. Shutting the engine down and using a heater can save fuel. Looking at the numbers, here we have a machine that consumes 3.5 liters of fuel per hour and a cab heater that consumes half a liter per hour for a potential total savings of 3 liters. If your goal is to reduce engine idle time by 1.5 hours each day, over the course of the year, you can save over $1,100. A heater costs about $1,400. Divide the cost by the savings and you make your money back in 1.25 years. If you see these kinds of savings in optional equipment, you need to include the equipment in your purchase specifications. In this lesson, we have learned machine performance falls off over time, costing you fuel and productivity. The optimum interval for replacement varies by the type of machine and the demands of the job it performs. Consider your future needs before purchasing. Look to new technology that promises improved efficiency. Talk with other loggers who use the machine you're interested in purchasing. Look beyond the purchase price. Consider the total cost of ownership to get the big picture. Let's wrap up what we've learned over the 5 lessons. Many factors drive energy intensity, so be sure to account for all of them in your cost models. Fuel cost will always be challenging. Manage these costs better and enjoy a competitive advantage. Tracking your fuel use by machine isn't that hard. Why not get started on this tomorrow? Stay on top of machine maintenance. Even if you need to remove the machine temporarily from production, you will make up for lost production later. Before starting a new harvest unit, gather the crew and discuss the best way to deploy the machines to optimize their unique abilities or your operator's skills. Revisit the plan and revise as necessary. In Lesson 1, you were asked to make a list of things you could do to improve your productivity and energy intensity. Take a look at that list now, or make a new one based on this summary. Pick the top 3 items and focus on those. Remember, keep it simple. Thanks for joining me for the Smart Operator for Forestry presentation. If you'd like, feel free to reach out to us at FPInnovations. We'd like to hear from you.